Hey tubes, what's up? How are my wonderful YouTube fans? Well, thank you so much for tuning in today's awesome vlog today. What are we going to be doing today? Basically, I'm going to be talking about the old Emachine. Basically, about some of the history and some of the research I made on this computer, basically the school, the model and stuff, and information about the computer itself. A lot of people say it's not really worth to upgrade a much older system, but hey, if that's the only computer you got, go right ahead. If you want to fork out the money to upgrade a much older system. Now, I do have the paperwork for the old Emachine desktop computer, and basically what I want us to experiment is to put a new operating system on this old computer. Instead of having it with Windows 7, I would like to try it with Windows 10. But basically, the one thing I might have to upgrade at some point on the old Emachine itself is put more RAM into it, and also maybe put a video graphics card in. Now, does it still work? Yeah, it works perfectly fine for now, but again, everybody says don't upgrade a much older system. Well, that is true, but if you have like not a lot of money, or if you want a budget computer, well, get an old computer, tinker around with it, monkey around with that old system, figure out what you can do with that old computer. But I did experiment with one thing. Basically, it was my dad's old SSD solid state drive in this computer. But alright, let's unplug it, put it on a desk, and take a look at it, showing you the difference of what you can do with a much older computer if you choose to upgrade it. It's all up to you. Let's go. I say, Chris, it's not a good idea to upgrade a much older computer with new hardware. True, but one thing I found out, it's not made in 2007, it was actually made in 2009. I think that's what the date says on the case itself. But basically, let's go ahead and show you this whole entire computer again. Okay, there's the front of your Emachine computer. Of course, you have your DVD drive expansion drive right here in case if you want to put a second DVD drive in, if you choose. This side says blank. Okay, does have the card readers, USB 2, microphone in, headphone out, your power switch, and basically, yes, it used to be running Windows Vista 32-bit, but now it's running Windows 7 64-bit. If you can tell, there is the processor, and there is the onboard graphics on the motherboard. Spin around. Let's go ahead and take this side off and look on the inside. Alright, there's the inside of your computer. There's your power supply. There is your motherboard. There's my Wi-Fi card, USB 3, couple different slots you can do. I have all my SATA slots filled up. Basically, I can add another one sticker RAM if I want. I'm going to be buying some extra RAM for this old computer. This is a AMD processor behind the fan heatsink attached to the motherboard. But basically, here you have my two hard drives. Okay, can you tell which one's different? One's a solid state, one's mechanical. Okay, let's look around the back side. Okay, here's your power supply. is the I/O, you know, PS2 mouse and keyboard, VGA, USB 2, Ethernet jack, your sound, of course, my wireless, and some different expansions, should I say. Pretty interesting. Old computer. Well, let's truly find out about this old Emachine computer. Was it put together in 2007 or 2009? Let's truly find out the physical age of this computer. Is it 8 or is it 10 years old? Let's find out. Bring it a little closer here, tubes. Alright, so it's February 2nd, 2009 on it. Okay, but let's go ahead and put that down. Basically, here are some of the specs of this old machine. You can see the type of processor it has inside of it. But it's also one more thing I would like to show you is the full specs of this machine. This I looked up a couple years ago. You can see 2015 when I looked this up on Newegg's website. But here is the computer. It's basically the specs of the machine. Hopefully you can see that perfectly fine. Okay, there's the memory right there. 3 gigs of RAM. Okay, but let's go ahead and flip this down side. See what we can max out this motherboard. Okay, so the processor. Okay. The max supported RAM is 8 gigabytes. SATA 2 hard drive means the motherboard is only a SATA 2, not SATA 3. But still a pretty old computer. But not too bad for an old system, being that old. Alright, we got the old Emachine hooked up to the 32-inch television. Alright, time to boot it up. Let's see which one it's going to boot off of, the mechanical drive or the SSD. By the way, this computer still works, by the way. Still a nice old computer. But interesting. I like this old computer somewhat. I like to tinker around with it sometimes, because it's still a pretty decent computer for its age, should I say. But yes, it is still running Windows 7. But would like to try Windows 10 on it. See if I can get a much newer operating system to work on this computer. But we don't know yet, because this computer is somewhat old. But yes, it did boot off of the SSD, should I say. Pretty interesting for a much older system. It's ready to go. Okay, that's basically what the motherboard looks like. Fully booted and ready to go. And basically most people use SSDs for the boot drive and a storage drive, mechanical hard drive, should I say. But not a bad computer. But there's one thing I forgot to mention on the actual paperwork about this computer. Here we have some more specs about the old Emachine. But a lot of people are curious on what that one looks like. There's that. I guess that port is this guy down here for a video card. What type of video card I might get for it later on? Well, let's see. Okay, you think that might work in this old computer tubes? I don't see why not. But again, you can try it and have some fun to keep your old computers working again. But again, some operating systems may not perform very good on a much older computer. But again, you figure it out. Remember, you have 3 more years of support when Windows 7 to finally kick the bucket here. But yes, I love this old Emachine somewhat, but still a bit fiddly of its updates from Windows 7. But ain't too bad. But alright, there you go. So my figuring out of information of what I want to do with the old desktop computer, should I say. Still works, still runs, but again, this computer will not be an editing machine. It's just too old to edit video. By the way, this is a licensed computer with Windows. This is a legit copy of Windows 7, should I say, 64-bit operating system. That's basically everything right there. Basically, we know she is a AMD processor, okay, and again, it has 3 gigs of RAM. It's only using 2.78 gigabytes of RAM. I named the computer Chris's old PC, and it works perfectly fine. So legitimate. Okay, now it's time to figure out what type of brand motherboard is in this Emachine style case, should I say. Alright, everybody's very curious, but you know what? I did some more research on this computer a while back. I was looking for my paperwork, and here is the exact same motherboard is in this desktop computer. And yes, and by the way, it does have the old IDE connectors, but you ain't gonna find that too much on newer motherboards anymore. This motherboard is version 2.2, same version as what's here. 2.2. Alright, are you ready to find out what the actual true name of this motherboard, should I say? Alright, here's more information for all my fans out there about this old desktop computer. Look very closely, tubes. It is an Acer motherboard. Got your name. The case is just a generic name. There's some more specs about the old gear, should I say, the old computer. But that's what I wanted to show you. Freaking amazing. Cool. Alright, it's also a little bit more specs on the back, so you can kind of see. But yes, that is a Acer motherboard. Means the case is just a generic case, but thank God that is a brand name motherboard from a brand company. Freaking amazing. Well, I hoped I have helped you a lot about your generic Emachine style case. If you have the same make and model of this computer, basically it has genuine components inside, like AMD, NVIDIA graphics, and a brand name motherboard from Acer, and also a Western original mechanical hard drive and a Samsung 250 solid state drive in this computer. The case is just a generic name, but everything else is a brand name. You're gonna say, Chris, how well does it actually work with the solid state drive? Does it boot up faster? Does it shut down faster? Can you do more things on it? Yes, you can actually. It all depends on what programs it's going to use more of the CPU more than I am in on applications on the old computer, basically. And see, here's all my stuff right here. I even have Google Chrome installed. Let's see how long it takes to boot. Not too bad. Can you close it? Yep. Can you open all files? Yep. Control panel. Looks amazing. Everything on this computer with the SSD, it's more snappier, more faster than a traditional hard drive. Alright, let's go ahead and shut it down and see how long the computer takes to shut off. Everything is all up to date. All the drivers, all the information about this computer is physically up to date. Okay, so let's give it a couple minutes. But without that mechanical drive plugged in, it would be okay. You know, somewhat you're going to be using it as storage. It does take a couple minutes to shut off. Not too bad. But let's see how fast it starts up. Okay, this is on the SSD, not on the mechanical hard drive. Basically, we got no signal yet. But okay, you can see the old E logo right there. But basically, it's just more information about this computer. It's a good idea to find out about what is inside of a generic case with billion ports. It's looking amazing. Hey, let's open Windows. Give it a take or two, and it boots up perfectly fine. Mechanical drives will take a little bit longer, then solid state will take a little bit snappier action. Alright, if you guys and girls are also joining this channel, please hit that subscribe button. Leave an awesome comment down below. Please like, please share. Peace out. We'll hopefully see you in the next vlog. Have fun with your computers, should I say. Just very interesting to figure out.